Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here today with another No Man's Sky permadeath survival challenge video. I'm going to do some more missions today. I was on my way to stage for the next mission that I was going to show, and then this weird thing showed up while I was pulsing around the star system, and I thought, I should start recording now. Let's see what it is. So, here we go. Without any further delay, ran into this messenger of Atlas. Let's see what that is. Let's not shoot it. And that is mostly words that I don't understand. I understand the word Atlas. The rest of that is another language. So I guess we'll accept the message and see what happens. Nothing seems to have happened. Alright, well, we found an interesting that's called maybe a pulse encounter. I don't know what they call it exactly. It's a random encounter in space that you can get when you're pulsing around, and that's a rare one, so I thought I would show that one off. So what I've prepared today, or nearly have prepared today, is there is a mission that showed up a long time ago, and I don't think it was on camera when it showed up, of a planetary distress signal. Now, if I hadn't been doing a whole bunch of stuff off camera, I might have, just started recording then and done it then, but we had stuff we really needed to do. So we're going to pretend that we just got that distress call now. But since it's on a planet with aggressive sentinels, we're going to touch down here at our base that has one of those control panels to shut down sentinels. We're going to shut down those sentinels so they don't give us any trouble while we're answering this distress call. Now, there's a potential that it might alter the story of the mission a little bit if we do this, but I am curious to see if it will alter anything, so we're going to try it out and see what happens. I'm just going to grab that little canister right there. There's probably a couple more over there. Yeah, there's another one over there, but we've got miles to go before we sleep, so to speak. Today, because it's daytime on this world, we're going to get out of the atmosphere, we're going to pulse over to where this distress signal is. Although before we do that, maybe let's review the information in the mission. It says distress signal coordinates have been entered into the ship's navigation systems. Signal appears to be planet side. Reach the coordinates, investigate the signal source. Let's see if there is not a journey record for that. Okay. I accidentally answered the distress signal when I was doing one of the pirate battles. I didn't even realize what it was until I had answered it. So that's what happened. We were out in space, we were fighting pirates, and then this distress signal came in. And it came from a planetary source, which we've identified as being right here. So we're going to go look at that now and see what it's all about. Maybe pirates have attacked some kind of planetary settlement. You might have noticed this game doesn't have a lot of planetary settlements, and there's some lore behind that that I think we might get into as part of this mission. Well, actually, I kind of think we don't, but there are some other things we can get into that will get into that lore a little bit. So we'll look into that more later. But what we need to know for now is that planetary settlements are very rare. You don't just run into them on accident. They're so rare. Alright, so it says that this settlement is in distress. It's telling me some things that I can do. Apparently I can become the overseer of a settlement. And manage some of their activities. We need to speak to one of the settlers about the distress signal, because they don't look in distress right now. I kind of like their settlement though, it looks nice. All these stone buildings. I like it. Well, that's a settler right there. Is he inside this building? He is. He appears to be having issues being stuck in a wall. Let's see. He can't decide which side of the wall he's on. I hope it lets us talk to him. That'll be kind of annoying. He is inside a wall. Quick, before he pops back the other direction. Hey, I'm talking to you. He jumps through the wall. Friend, you... Yes? Here to help, yes? Yes? Yes. Yes, I am. The settlement must be the source of the distress signal. What are they doing here? Building a life exposed to the harsh planetary existence, battered by the elements. Oh, maybe they wanted some sun and some wind and water instead of the void of space. Alright, well anyway, we're going to ask about that distress signal. Before I can speak, I hear the wail of a siren. A hostile buzz descends upon the town. The sentinels have arrived. So, I disabled the sentinels. I want to see what happens. There are sentinels here. As you can see, or may be able to see, they're a little bit different than the normal sentinels. They are like the corrupted sentinels we saw earlier. In fact, that is exactly what they are. They are corrupted sentinels, which work a little bit differently than the other sentinels. They don't operate under the same network. So they're able to show up some places where normally sentinels wouldn't be able to show up. Say, right here where we've poisoned the waveform that they use to coordinate their sentinels and gotten all of the sentinels destroyed on this planet, at least temporarily. These ones can still show up. Something different is going on. Maybe we'll find something out about that later. But for the meantime, we are going to finish off these sentinels. The recoil on this upgraded boltcaster is intense. I suppose maybe I should have used my combat scope. I zoom in with my combat scope and I don't jump hardly at all. It makes that much easier. You know, normal sentinels, it only takes me like one of those bursts to kill them, 2 tops. These ones take 3, so they're a little tougher for some reason. Alright, so we've saved the settlement from sentinels. Now it says, investigate the settlement, speak with the survivor. Okay, let's see if we can talk to this guy before he glitches through the wall again. Friend, here is, yes, but profitable. Opportunity here, we'll do business together, yes? Well, I understood enough of that message. The little alien hops around, grateful for my assistance in fighting the sentinels, but it is clear they are tired, worn down from the fight. If no one helps them, I fear their settlement will not last much longer. Well, I accept their thanks. Perhaps I could assist these settlers. The overseer position appears to be newly vacant. Maybe he ran off when he saw the sentinels coming. Opportunity for us, I suppose. So we interface with the settlement hub, and then we can become the overseer, the controller of this settlement. I like this one. It's on a nice lush world, and you know, barring aggressive sentinels, it seems like a pretty nice place. I've built a couple of bases here. Accessing planetary settlement interface. Access granted. Current overseer status missing, deceased. Overseer position presumed vacant. Apply for settlement management. Yes. Let's see what this is about. So there is 54 population. That's a pretty big settlement. Productivity's decent. Happiness is terrible. I mean, I guess the game is telling me that these are actually pretty bad. We've got orange, red. That doesn't look good. Sentinel alert level's a little high. Wow, the maintenance cost is crazy. More than $250,000, and they're only producing 1/10,000,000. What else do we have here? Built on sand. That just sounds like a bad idea. You know, these stone structures they're made of silicate powder. So it's actually built out of sand. But apparently it's poorly founded. Trade network failing, poisoned water, no pets allowed, just a miserable place to be. The only thing they've got going for them are some cartography drones. Alright, we can work on this, we can improve it. Settlement management request granted. So, there's a guide entry, we could look at that. But I can tell you all of that stuff faster than I can read it, so that's what I'm going to do. Now we can interact with various terminals around the settlement and direct its activities. So it appears that they were constructing an overseer's office, but they haven't finished it, obviously. All we see here are some, I hesitate to call them derelict, but abandoned construction equipment. So we need to find 210 silicate powder to give them. You can't dig up the dirt inside a settlement, so we're going to have to get outside the bounds of the settlement. Let me use my rocket boots. Thank you. And I suppose if we get up on top of this ridge, we'll probably be able to dig. Maybe not. Worst it can do is tell us, no, you can't. You cannot, it said. Alright, let's go a little bit further. Can't dig in the water, that doesn't give us silicate dust. I'm going to grab some silicate dust really quick. And it is abundant. In fact, it's so abundant we're going to use the giant size mining beam. Get it as quickly as possible. And then, in a violation of the conservation of mass, we're going to use our repair function to replace the beautiful terrain that we are tearing to bits. And it's going to cost us less silicate powder than we get out of the terrain when we do it. Alright, that's enough. We needed 210. Just restore all of this, because I don't like leaving gaping holes in the landscape. I tend to fill in holes as much as I can, even to the point of filling in holes when I get in fights with sentinels and they use their ground turf destroying grenades on it. Get this filled out again real quick. I'm being a little careful about how I'm filling it out because I don't want to leave air pockets in the terrain. I think eventually the stuff fixes itself, but I don't want any... that one might have left some air. I don't want to leave any more terrain complexity than necessary just to make the game run smoother, and it also makes it look a little nicer. Although we probably have to go digging around in the dirt to even notice air pockets. Alright, now let's head back over to our settlement, which is not too far away. Up we go. Didn't quite make that. Let our jetpacks recharge. And we can get this building constructed, or at least constructed in. We'll feed the 210 silicate powder in there. And it'll tell us a minute 30, a little bit less, until it is done with the first stage. So while we're doing that, we could go and gather some more materials that I'm just going to guess it's going to ask for. Just use our mining beam to gather some of this pure ferrite and probably some regular ferrite. Hopefully it doesn't ask for more silicate powder. It might. Everything seems to be made out of stone in this settlement. But just grab some of this real quick. Can't even imagine we're going to need oxygen, but that thing offends my sensibilities. I'll trying to poison all of our newly found villagers. This one's going to try and bite them. Let's get rid of that. In reality, they probably won't actually have to worry about that, but we're going to pretend we're being good custodians of our settlement. We've got about 10 seconds left. Let's take a second to admire this construction. I like it. I like the way stone buildings look. I haven't built any bases out of stone because I didn't want to go mining all that silicon powder, but I do like they're handsome buildings, I'm going to say. And it looks like it's done. And that door is not accessible with these construction panels in front of it, but I'm sure we can get rid of those. 5 metal plating. We did need ferrite dust. We have just enough for 5 plates, I think. We do. Wonderful. Alright. It's 5 plates. Who knows what they're going to ask us for next, but I'm just going to guess that it's going to be more ferrite dust somehow, one way or another. So we'll spend the next minute and a half just gathering some ferrite dust. Oh, I haven't identified that one. Oops. Oh well, maybe next time. I love this upgraded mining laser. Honestly, I should probably be in my starship because that's even faster, but since I recently went to the trouble of upgrading the laser, I'd like to enjoy it a little bit. That geode we just picked up, we probably don't need to dig anymore. More than likely it's going to give us a bunch of ferrite dust. Where are we at? 60% complete? Alright, let's just open those. Oh, there's only one. I thought maybe there'd be more than one. That's not quite enough for 5 more plates. Just in case they want more plates, grab a little bit more. There's a little chromatic metal in that one. Alright, that should do. About 10 seconds left. And now it wants 3 microprocessors. I was afraid that's what it was going to ask for as the last step. Those are not a simple thing to construct. What do those need? Chromatic metal and carbon nanotubes. We need 3 of them. How much chromatic metal do we have? 2. But it says that we can access the 40 it's asking for. Ah, we have some in our freighter. Perfect. Alright, that makes this so much faster. Now we just need a little carbon. Do we have a little carbon in our freighter? Maybe. No, we do not. We do in our storage containers, but those are not accessible from here. I guess we could chop down a couple trees real quick. We'll take too many trees. You, goodbye. You are a tree. Except that tree looks pretty nice. I think these alien trees are exotic and interesting, but they're kind of an eyesore. I think, a little bit. I mean, it's cool that they glow and stuff, but they look like something mildly dangerous or something. I don't know. Alright, let's see if that's enough. We need 3 carbon nanotubes. Not quite enough. Just a little bit more. 1 more tree. 1 more tree. Do we have any volunteers? You look like you have a lot of carbon. It does have a lot of carbon. 1 more. And now we can make 3 microprocessors. Jet back over to the construction site. Hit a lamppost on the way. Good thing we wear armor and have shields. Alright, 1.5 more minutes and then it's going to be done. It's looking pretty nice. Kind of a squat little building, but looks like it's got a little bit of a... I thought maybe that was a window into the inside, but it looks like maybe not. It's just a kind of an ornamental roof cap. Well, it looks okay. We've got these extruded walls with windows in them. It's small, but looks like an okay office to me. Got another minute left. I like that color. Matches the terrain. We got, what is this? Turquoise, I guess? Teal, maybe. Well, actually both colors, really. One of them's turquoise and one of them's teal. Goes well with the green ground, the green grass. Alright. Still not done. Let's see how much more I can talk about the aesthetics of this village. I kind of wonder if I've scanned those. I have. Alright. Did a pretty good job scanning this planet. Just that one rock that we found that I hadn't gotten the data on. Alright, it's done. And now they took the construction walls off, added some satellite dishes, some storage containers, water. I hesitate to call that a tower, but water container, water storage. And we've got a nice little door here. It says new building opportunities are available. Use the administration terminal in your office to commission a new building. It's a cool little lamp on that table. What do we have? Let's view the settlement status. We have poisoned water, failing trade network, and built on sand. No pets allowed we can deal with later, probably. We've got 85,000 units of debt, and it's ticking up at the rate of 100,000 units a day. No, I'm sorry. At the rate of almost 200,000 units a day, taking the productivity from the maintenance cost. So we should probably focus on something that will increase the productivity of our settlement or decrease maintenance costs, maybe. Let's see what our options are. We have a water pumping tower and an industrial plant. Well, the factory module has more productivity, so why don't we build that first? Looks like we have some water pumping going on already since we have water towers. What's it want us to gather for that? Another... No, this is 210 magnetized ferrite. You know what? We have a portal. Rather than making it the hard way, let's just go to our freighter and pick up 210 magnetized ferrite. We'll right back. Set that thing to building. We're going to pop out of that teleport terminus inside of our freighter base, so we'll be able to just get right into our storage containers and pick out the magnetized ferrite quickly. Let's grab half that stack and grab that while we're at it, and then pop back through. Something we could do, maybe I should have done that instead, is we can warp our freighter to us. Now, for the same sorts of reasons that I was killing poisonous plants around the settlement, I prefer to not use that. I prefer to use the freighter's warp drive to get it to where I want it to be, but our freighter is so far away from this colony, I'm probably not going to warp it back all the way manually. That would take too many jumps. Alright, so now we have a new construction site a little bit further out, and some more construction equipment. It wants 210 magnetized ferrite, and it's going to take an hour and a half to build. So obviously we'll have to come back to that in a later video, perhaps in the next video. Maybe we'll make a short series on settlements. And before we go, let's see how we're doing for time. Now we're actually pretty late. I guess we'll just have to look forward to finding out who this visitor is in our next video. So thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed. And until the next time, have a good one. Bye now.